us with a clap or something if you'd like. In our youth ministry, one of our primary principles is having this student leadership team that we call the Revolt. And they basically do so much of what we do as a youth ministry. And one of our key leaders the past few years has been Mr. Jesse Sherman. And God's done amazing things in his life, and I was just wanting to have him share some of that with you this morning. So, Jesse, would you kind of tell us like where you were as you entered high school? Where were you spiritually? Where was the state of your life?
Yeah, I had basically gone to this school, Christian Academy, K through 8th. They even have my name up on a sweet plaque up there. So yeah, this has kind of been my school. I was raised a Christian like my whole life. And basically, as soon as I got to high school, I was just kind of like, okay, now it's time. Like I gotta choose for myself. I was like, do I need this? Like, I'm just going to live for myself. I'm in high school now. We don't have to pray before every class, yada, yada, yada. So I just was like, I'm going to live for myself. This is like, I'm going to make the most of this, or whatever. And so I just kind of didn't care about God anymore. I was like, I'll be my priority, put myself first. Stuff like that. I just became really selfish. And so for the first half of freshman year, that's how I lived. And I just was like hanging out with people that I shouldn't have been hanging out with. Just not doing the right thing for God. I wasn't living for him, I was living for myself. And people kept inviting me. They're like, hey, you should come to Paradigm. It's so much fun. I was like, oh, that sounds cool, but I work on Sunday nights. I can't. And they're like, oh, that's too bad. You should ask for it off. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll see. And so I'd like go up to my manager and be like, is there any chance you don't need me Sundays? He's like, do you need that off? I was like, I don't need it off, but if you don't want to assume it. And so it's like this really like passive way of asking for it off. But yeah. Anyway, so eventually I was like, I found myself with a free Sunday night. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go to Paradigm. And so I did, and it was just like overwhelming. I can't even explain to you. The kids were just crazy, and I was very like frightened much of the time. I was like new there. This is my first time. I was like, oh my gosh, everyone is so loud and crazy and friendly. And so it was a little overwhelming at first, but I went again a few weeks later, and Ben was talking about exactly what I had thought about like my freshman year. He's like, are you living for yourself or are you living for God? And I was like, oh, that's exactly what it is. So I just kind of like looked down. I was like, this is so awkward. And, that was kind of when it started that I was like actually thinking about, oh, maybe my choice at the beginning of high school was not the right choice. And over the next few weeks, I realized that, and I was like, I made the wrong choice. So what was I thinking? Yada, yada, yada. That was kind of the thought process that I came to. So I guess at that point, like probably towards the end of freshman year, maybe like fourth quarter-ish of freshman year, I was like, okay, this is how I was, and this is how I need to be. And I guess that's where I made this switch, like from living like my parents' faith to like, okay, I need to do this, not just like I'm doing this because I have to. So that's kind of
I was wondering if you could tell them just kind of what your journey has been from that point until now. So from freshman year till now, just give us a brief little summary. Like, what has God been teaching you? How do you see God differently than you did before?
Well, like I said before, it was kind of like I saw him as a requirement, and I was like, oh, this is what I have to do. I'd get dragged to church on Sundays. But now it's something that I actually like take pride in doing. Like, this is something that I like to do. I like to come to church, and I like to go to Paradigm, and I just like to live for Jesus. I don't know. So it's become more of an enjoyment instead of like something I have to do. And it's something that I want to like do for the rest of my life. And so I'm going to be going to Seattle this next school year for school. I got into college. And I'm hoping to just major in like theology and become pastor, youth pastor, something like that. Because I think it was my sophomore year. I was invited to like come help out at Velocity. I was like, oh, okay, sure, that sounds like fun. And I've kind of been doing that ever since, and it's just something that I really like to do. And so I'm hoping to do that for the rest of my life. for a while.
And tell us a little bit about Holy Surrendered. Would you do that just briefly?
Me and Nick Donati and Dustin Elker. I don't know if you know Dustin, but he lives out at House Ranch, so he doesn't get out here too much. But let's see, this was last year. We were just kind of talking, like, why is school such a secular place? Like, why do we not feel God's presence here? And it was because we had restricted God to church and to parents. So we hadn't really done anything to actively bring him there necessarily. And we're like, what if we just did a Bible study? Like once or twice a week, we just got together with whoever wanted to show up, and we just kind of read his word, sang some songs. I don't know. And it just was kind of an idea we threw around. We ended up talking to Mrs. Dickey. We're like, hey, can we use your room for this? And she's like, yeah, of course, that'd be sweet. So we started, and there were 10 people that showed up, and we're like, okay, so we don't really know what we're doing, but we're just gonna kind of sing some songs and read the Bible and see what happens. And so we did that, every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays we read the Bible. Thursdays we went through this book called Velvet Elvis by Rob Elvis. But yeah, and then this year we had this huge group of freshmen come to the high school. There's a lot more kids, so we're having 30, 40 people show up, and it's just been crazy. We're doing it once a week now, just so we can put more effort into each time instead of having it spread out more. But that's been kind of crazy how much that's grown, and I don't know. It seems like people are getting something out of it because they keep showing up. So.
Well, thanks Jesse for coming up. Why don't we give him a hand?